My immediate reactions to the Patriots and Seahawks game tonight. Man, that was a great game. That was a really great game. And I had a feeling it was going to be a great game. Everyone on the pregame show, except for, I think it was Tony Dungy and one other dude, picked the Seahawks. Everyone I saw everywhere was picking the Seahawks. And it's because I guess they hadn't seen the Patriots yet. But damn, that was a good game. That was a really good game. Both teams just played great football. Russell Wilson, man. Holy Jesus, dude. He is a special talent, man. He's well on his way to win the MVP this year. He had 5 touchdowns. That's just insane, man. He was making all the throws. He's just impossible to stop. Impossible when he's scrambling outside the pocket. It's just insane. And their defense played well. Cam Newton had a hell of a game. He had 1 touchdown passing, 2 rushing. He threw for almost 400 yards. Um, you know, both teams just played. It was a hell of a game, man. It came down to the last second. The running play that Cam Newton got stopped short on, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But yeah, so immediate reactions. I honestly thought the Patriots were gonna win. Now this is just based off of how I saw them play in Week 1 and how I was thinking Seattle might not be ready for what the Patriots were going to throw at them, but Seattle was definitely ready for it. I think they knew the Patriots were going to try to run the ball, and Seattle did a great job of stopping the Patriots from running the ball. The Patriots couldn't run the ball. Michelle only had 19 yards, Burkhead only had 2 yards. Uh, they couldn't run the ball effectively. Cam Newton led the way with 47, so Cam could run the ball, but the Patriots halfbacks couldn't run the ball. So Seattle did a great job of neutralizing that. Jamal Adams had a decent game. Jamal Adams actually got kind of cooked up in coverage. I think he gave up like 6 catches or something like that. I think he was targeted 6 times, gave up 6 catches. Every time I looked up at my screen, it felt like Jamal Adams was getting kind of cooked. But defensively, like run stopping and zone defense around the line of scrimmage, man, Jamal Adams is a beast. But yeah, so the Patriots they played really well, and I thought they would win. I'm really not surprised as to how they lost. I mean, Russell Wilson, man, is just insane, and he just played an amazing game. Russell Wilson was the difference in this game, and he just played amazing, and he just outplayed everyone. So it's you can't really get mad at that. But the Patriots went down swinging, man. The Patriots defense looked pretty good at times, I'll say. Honestly, they kind of looked bad against the run. They looked god awful against the run. They couldn't stop the run, what seems like. Even though Seattle only ended up with, 154 yards rushing, 40 of those came from Wilson. It felt like they couldn't stop the run. And down the stretch, the Patriots did get stops when they needed to, though. And their defense stayed strong. And it just wasn't enough, though. It just wasn't enough. It came down to that last play, Cam Newton at the goal line. Cam Newton made throw after throw down the stretch. Hit Jules, he hit N'Keal Harry, and it's just marched him right down the field. And then you're at the 3 yard line. Um, the only thing I would have changed there going down the stretch is that they really should have called the timeout when I don't remember exactly the sequence, but there was a play down the stretch where they had a long completion. I think it was Edelman couldn't get out of bounds. So then they ran up to the line. They probably wasted like 15 seconds doing so, and it kind of cost them in the end because they ran the play, and then at the end of that play they only had 9 seconds, and then by the end of it they called the timeout when they were down to the 3 yard line, and they only had time for one play. And the play they drew up was the play where Cam Newton just catches the ball. They literally have like all these tight ends, all these offensive linemen, the fullback, whatever, and they try to run Cam into the end zone, man. And it had worked up until that point. It worked, I think, every time we ran it last week. It worked every time we ran it tonight, up until that point. and except for the 2 point conversion, actually, it didn't work. But I don't know if that was the same play. But again, it was working, man. And a lot of people are now saying, "Oh, they should have passed it." I'm not one of those people, man. Like in hindsight, maybe they should have switched it up and passed it. But if this had worked, Cam Newton was the hero, and like it's a great play call. Cam Newton's unstoppable. And then if they had passed it and it didn't work, people would be saying, "What the hell are you doing, Josh McDaniels? You know, you have Cam Newton, he's unstoppable. Why didn't you just let him run with it?" So it works both ways, man. There's no there's no exact way to figure out what would have worked. It was just a play call, man. It was an okay play call. I didn't mind it at all, and it didn't work out in the end. You know, he got stopped short. It is what it is. I was literally, oh my god, dude. I was just going insane. I was so hyped when they were getting down there. They're at the 3 yard line, dude. I saw Cam in the shotgun. There's 3 seconds left. I was like, if he does this shit, dude. Like, we already know Cam's goated. Like, Cam's already been goated as a Patriot. Like, these first 2 weeks, man, have they been fun. After, like, no hate on Tom Brady. Tom Brady is by far the greatest player of all time. The greatest quarterback of all time. He's one of the greatest athletes of all time. He's probably my favorite athlete of all time. But Cam Newton just brings a totally different attack than Tom Brady does. Because Cam can just like he scrambles, he can like throw on the run while scrambling, and then he can break one out. He can catch the ball and just run over people. It's really cool to watch Cam Newton. He brings like a different dimension, and I don't know, man. This team's just really fun to watch. I don't know who they're playing next week. I think it's the Chiefs, man. It's gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be a tough one next week. They're playing a good team, but I think it's the Chiefs. Who knows? But yeah. As for my immediate reactions, it was a great game, man. I had a feeling the Patriots were gonna win. I knew it would be a great game. They lost in a close one at the last second. Can't really hate on it, man. I mean, in all honesty, the Patriots really shouldn't even be here. Cam Newton's just playing out of his mind. Patriots have a great secondary. You know, that's what I've been saying, man. The Patriots secondary truly is great. So it opens everything up for their defense. If their defense could just figure out how to stop the run, dude. Oh my god. And that's what's so tough about Russell Wilson, dude. Is that the Patriots love to run a man defense. They love to man up the corners because the receivers, their corners are so talented that they can man up the receivers usually. Like Gilmore is insanely talented. Jonathan Jones is talented. J.C. Jackson's insanely talented. These guys are legit. So they're able to just run man. The problem with running man against Russell Wilson is you can man up a linebacker against him, but dude, he's just got one man to beat at that point. When all these other corners are chasing their receivers, not focusing on Russell Wilson, that's when it burns you. So that's why they had to go to zone, and then you go to zone, and Russell Wilson's finding the holes in it. It's really tough to scheme against Russell Wilson, and the Patriots struggled against him. And it's to the point where it's like, dude, this guy's so good. It's like he's an MVP candidate. He's a legit top two player in the league. Like him and Pat Mahomes, or like I guess Lamar Jackson too. But I'd take Russell Wilson just about over anyone else in the league. Between him, Pat Mahomes, and Lamar, I'd honestly maybe take Russell Wilson. That's how good he is. So it's you take this with a grain of salt. Honestly, this loss, you got to try to look at it positively. Like the Patriots really did play a well coached, strong game. It sucks they lost, but there's a lot of positives to take out of this, and I think this is just. It sucks that we lost, right? Like I said, but Cam Newton, the Patriots, they're going to take a lot of confidence out of this game. They know they can hang. Seattle Seahawks are a top team in the league. The Patriots hung with them, literally, until the last second. And honestly, if the Patriots had a competent kicker who didn't miss field goal after field goal, and he actually hit that field goal, might have been 33-35. Maybe the Patriots only need a field goal. I mean, obviously, hindsight's a beautiful thing, like I said with the play call. Now you can say that. But you never know, man. The Patriots, that's their one, they don't have a kicker, dude. Nick Folk can't kick a field goal to save his life. He can make his extra points, but he can't kick a field goal, dude. That really hinders what they can do on offense. Um, so yeah, that's gonna that's gonna be tough for them down the stretch. But yeah, man, I'm not gonna like sit here and act like I knew this was gonna happen. But yeah, I thought this would be a strong game. I knew the Patriots were gonna come in this game, and the Patriots are gonna be tough to beat, man. The way they play, they control the possession. Cam Newton's making these throws, dude. Cam Newton's if we are able to run the ball, it's gonna be tough to stop the Patriots offense. If they're able to run the ball, they didn't run the ball whatsoever tonight, and they still managed to be in the game with Seattle up until the last seconds of the fourth. If they were running the ball effectively, that opens up the play action, that opens up everything else in our offense, man. Um, the Patriots are legit, man. This really just kind of reinforced my thoughts of that.